Let's get that.
Alright, cool. And then, if you are wondering if you're in the draft and you have a Season 15 rookie tag, the answer is no. If you have a Season 14 rookie tag, the answer is yes.
I'm watching this Instagram video. Like a little freshman is getting his first varsity snaps in football, and then he gets suplexed.
Checks out.
Happens.
Yeah.
Alright, here's my question. No, I'm not pinging everyone for this.
Ping everyone for this.
No, not in the Access server. I did only for Championship night.
Only for championship. As you do.
As I do.
What tags do you use? American football, fantasy football, or fantasy sports only? That's a good idea. Man, I should use tags. That would be awesome.
You should.
I should also sim games.
You should. You have the game. You're the commissioner.
Before we start, how many apples would qualify a couple? As in, I'm going to buy. So
Two.
it depends. It
Two.
depends. No.
It is a couple.
No, a couple of apples. Okay, I would say a few apples is 2. A couple is 3.
Okay, so here we go.
You flip that around.
Here we go.
I'm sorry, but it just is.
A couple is 2. But if you are going to the store and saying it, and I think it's a very important thing, usually you never say, I'm going to buy just a couple of... You say you're going to buy a couple of things, but that usually is more than 2. So a few would be the correct term, because you're buying more than 2. Actually, you're buying 3 plus. But I would say...
I guess...
Well, okay, if you want to be really sensical of the term, then yeah, it's a couple. But I feel like if you're buying 2, you're saying a couple. But I feel like if you are just, existing, like if you're going to the store and you're like, I'm gonna go buy a couple of things, you're probably talking about like 10 or 6 things, But if you're like, I'm gonna go buy like a few things, you're talking about like...
See, I don't think when I go to the store and I say a couple versus that there's any distinction.
I think, yeah.
Also, is there a drawback to coming back with more than 2 apples? Like, what's the drawback here?
Well, if you're me, I go through them at an alarmingly high rate, which is probably not contributing to my iron effectively and adding more iron to my already iron-heavy blood.
Well, here's the thing. I haven't had
Sounds like a you problem.
It is.
I haven't had
ask.
I haven't had a full apple in almost 4 years because of braces, and I miss the taste. Now that I have my braces off...
Depends on the type of apple.
Granny Smith. It has to be Granny Smith.
Oh, there are so many better apples than Granny Smith.
Brayburn. I like a good Brayburn apple.
What was that?
Give me a Macintosh or an Empire any day.
It's 2 plus. I'm telling you, it's 2 plus.
There's no way it's 2 plus. It has to be exactly 2.
What? No,
okay.
because
I've never thought of only getting a couple things at the store.
Okay, a couple
doesn't even justify
a human couple is how many people?
Okay. See, I was just about to go to the human analogy here. If we're going with the human analogy, I think of it as if, like, you're presenting something and you look out the curtain. You're like, you see like 4 people there. You're like, oh yeah, there's a couple people there. There's a couple people here. Right?
I said the word few, but...
Well, that's
yeah,
you can say some. You can say there's some people. Or I would say there's a couple. I mean, there's a couple,
Well, if there's 2 people, I'd say there's a couple people
so,
there. Yeah.
So because I'm from Wisconsin, I usually hear the phrase a couple, 2 or 3. Which might be contributing here, but
I have never heard my wife use that. She's also from Wisconsin.
See, I'm from the deep south. We just throw all that out the window and say all y'all.
Ooh, Jonah Golds are good. See, all right, here we go. I see some people saying Honeycrisp and Jonah Gold. Jonah Golds I love. Honeycrisp apples I think are really good, and they're always the most expensive at the store, though. Bang for buck, you're not getting it.
Alright. grinding.
Thank you, Crows and McCoy, for that question. That was very nice of you.
I recently discovered Cosmic Crisps. Those are good apples. And Jazz apples. Jazz apples are fun. Anyway, I can talk about apples for a long, long time. But I don't think...
What is the best apple in your personal humble opinion?
Ooh. Okay, here we go. If you're going to an orchard...
Juice.
No, if you're going to an orchard, I'd say Empire or Macintosh are easily the best.
Mm-hmm.
Red Delicious are hot garbage. Absolutely agree. And, I'd have to say, though, I'd have to say an Empire or Macintosh. Kinda. They're old school apples, but they're really, really good. They're crisp, they're clean, they're simple, they're juicy, they're perfect.
Red Delicious is like the school lunch apple.
Ugh, Red Delicious is awful. I would rather not have an apple than have a Red Delicious apple.
So are they in line with
I
the
think
name?
I've willingly had one since high school.
You caused this. This is true. All right. It
is
is 7:05. Yeah.
I mean 7:05. I'm sorry.
So, we are good to start now that the meme has done it. By the way, I would like to announce this first draft pick because I actually have this all planned out in my mind as to how this is going to go. It's going to be great. So, I don't know. So just some quick housekeeping. If you created after a trade deadline, congrats, you're not here. You're in the Season 15 draft class. There's a
Check your
typo.
roll. They should be mostly accurate. If not,
Yeah.
DM me.
Yeah, if so, that should be Season 15.
Live stream.
All right. So, with the first overall pick, the Dragons select linebacker. And since everyone in the booth here knows, I'm going to ask the chat if they have any guesses before I reveal who it is.
There's only a couple true linebackers in this draft class, really.
There are.
I'm not looking at the chat, so I'm just taking this off.
Well, there's like 3 or 4.
All right, we've got a
I'm
couple of
looking at the
guesses
chat
for
here.
Un. We got one guess for Un. We got a guess.
That's how
Looks
you
like
say
it's
it.
by Reno, so no surprise there.
Yep.
You're gonna go LeBron? Alright. Thank
All
you,
right.
Kaiser. Thank
Anyway.
you, Kaiser.
Brian Urlacher, that could be.
That would
That's a
be
good-
That's a
that's a good
solid
guess.
pick.
I don't know if he created, but we could call him.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's call him up real quick.
I don't know.
saw a
I
billboard
feel like
in
he'd be
Chicago
not as good
Brian
with his
Urlacher
hair. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that billboard. Ooh,
Scared me.
it scares me too.
Like, is that Brian Urlacher with hair?
Yeah, most terrifying thing in the world. Anyway, with that, let me announce the pick. I don't know if anyone in chat could hear that, but
Did you click something?
I did. I had actually the sound effect for how to pronounce that name. It is Reno Jackson HS.
It's no.
Yeah, exactly. So I had the sound effect ready to go.
Isn't that like the sound something makes when it crashes?
It is the sound of Reggie Rock, actually.
That's Reggie Rock, yep.
Oh yeah, that's right, because they're
Gen 3 for sure.
yeah.
Heck yeah. So anyway, I love this pick. I think it's a phenomenal pick for the Denver Dragons.
I think the only person who doesn't love this pick is Tosi, because I'm pretty sure the umlauts are going to break the stats, but
It's
I have not confirmed that.
it's not going to break the stats. So the reason this is so weird, and I want to talk about this, because for years the umlauts and other things broke the game. Like, it actually made it impossible to play. But for some weird reason, because it was done through the portal, it was actually able to work effectively because it converted it into text, which
Okay.
you got to convert into the CSV. So it's not going to break anything, which is
Whoa.
wild.
A whole new world has opened up.
Yes.
Yeah, the
I guess you could
possibility of
say-
the name.
I guess you could say the portal opened up many. Anyway,
Uh, So that is our first overall pick. I love this pick. Turkey, as you are the co-GM of the Dragons, do you have any thoughts on this one?
Well, early in the scouting process, I mean, he's at the top of the TPE earnings, so he was automatically on the top of our list. And he's also good friends with Crane, so that was an easy pick first overall.
Excellent. And then we're going to go back to the Dragons as they are picking 2 overall as well.
We're
you made
kicking.
a mistake. You made a mistake.
Wow, I hate this.
So, Turkey, since you're here,
Oh man,
the Dragons select. Would you like to announce this pick?
give me a minute here, man.
Probably doesn't remember it.
Okay, no. Now I do. Okay, yeah, here we go. With the second overall pick, the Dragons select DB Zizagoon
Zizagoon.
Wazi. Yep.
Whoa, Z! First and
Whoa.
foremost, Max, thank you for the bits. Much appreciated. Second of all, yes, Wozy, I love this pick.
I do too. I'll just comment this. I think Zizagoon was the first S14 create back in S13 post trade deadline. Has been a valuable member of the Kings and is a great pickup. I think this player could be even better than Dixie Kong. There's my bold statement.
Okay, that is both bold and crazy.
Because defense is in right now.
Totally get that. You know that like Wozy's like the third best wide receiver of all time, right?
Absolutely.
So you're saying this guy is going to be third or
second best
best DB. Third or better. I
mean,
like
no,
it.
I'm saying he's gonna be the best.
Oh, he's going to be one.
Ooh.
All right.
No one
Nobody
ever was?
Nobody ever was.
I love it.
Well, you gotta train him. That's your cause.
Yep.
But no, great pickup by Denver. So, fun fact, I think they had 3 or 4 first rounders. They had 3 first rounders last season. They have 4 first rounders this season.
We made a mistake. We made a mistake trading with Dragons.
Yeah, and okay.
No, keep going.
We looked at Wozy. They were the first person that I scouted in this draft, and they were very good. I had a very good scouting combo with them, so. And they're at the top of the TPE, and we also, I think, have 0 defensive backs rostered right now. I think Crane's planning to move there.
Didn't you sign Monster of the Woods back?
Yeah, I do not control free agency.
You should know your roster.
I've been told to not touch free agency.
That's
so
fair. That's fair. I believe Tesla got signed, or at least he's planning.
Oh yeah, Tesla got signed. Yeah,
Yeah.
Tesla got signed. I didn't know they were a DB until like right now, so thank you.
You're welcome.
But now we have a good pairing right there. So
Yeah. Tesla's last season before regression wipes out Monster of the Woods to oblivion.
Tesla had a whopping 6.
Yeah, Tesla's low on TB, but here's the thing. Tesla's in the perfect team to succeed, and funnily enough, record watch for this season. Tesla may break John Voight, not a dentist, records. So.
What? What do you mean not a dentist? Okay.
John Voight was called not a dentist every time he did something, so I have to still keep that going.
Oh.
Because he's not a dentist.
Move on to pick number 3. Who
It's a
we got?
Seinfeld bit. Pick number 3, the Silver Eagles select defensive lineman Scott Chegg, asked Madden. I love this pick. I can gush about this guy all the time. I managed to scout him and actually talk to him about 24 minutes before the SCFSL minor draft last season. Great conversation with the guy. It was actually really funny. He's like, I hope I'm not picked late because I go to bed early because I live in Europe. And he got picked like 3rd overall right before I could pick him. So, yeah. Phenomenal pick. The Scottish sensation.
I like this pick a lot too. Seeing the theme already early on, 3 straight defensive players. Love to see it. And this is a player that was high on the board in the Dev League draft and is going high here in the Majors draft.
Absolutely. It's going to be a good pick. And the Silver Eagles maintain those dominant players that they keep getting. One of these years will be their year. As we get to the Frost Giants.
Ooh, this is going to be a fun little pick here.
So, CJ, would you like to announce it?
Yes, I would, because this is the greatest draft pick we've ever had. This is the greatest player we've ever drafted, who's ever played. So with the 4th overall pick, the Frost Giants select defensive lineman Little Debbie. Are we going to announce what happened?
You're gonna just
after?
no. I got that. Don't worry. That's covered.
Okay. Little Debbie is AW13. You know, AW13 has been around the SCFSL. He's a great guy. Chuck Finn, the legend, obviously. So when I was surprised he wasn't taken earlier because, it's AW13. The legend of punting, Chuck Finn. I figured, scoop him up. He's a great guy. I've seen him around the locker rooms, or not the locker room, the main server. He's a good guy. He's a good guy to be around.
Perfect. With that, we have a trade alert, by the way.
Yeah. And I promptly turned around. And traded Little Day to the Aliens for the 5th pick and their S15 first.
Yep.
The greatest player in Frost Giants history, Little Debbie.
He has been a Frost Giant for a collective total of 45 seconds.
Greatest Frost Giant we've ever drafted.
Greatest.
I don't say so myself.
So yeah,
All
it's
jokes aside.
kind of a snipe here by the Frost Giants, and Aliens really wanted AW for obvious reasons. I mean, former
Aliens
formerly
legend.
on the team. So I mean, I think depending on the 5th overall pick and that S15 first could be really good way to leverage by the Frost Giants.
Yeah. With that 5th overall pick,
Oh, you want to keep jumping? We don't want to talk about this pick a little more?
I mean, what is more to say?
That's fair.
I immediately traded the pick.
Cool. So with the 5th overall pick,
Overall, which belongs to me, the Frost Giants we selected linebacker, defensive lineman.
Why was it linebacker?
it might have been a linebacker, and I could have screwed that up.
Good old Dixie Normus. He's it. And so, you good, Turk?
Yeah, I'm happy.
All right, cool. So Dixie Normus is a GM in the league that me and Turkey co-commission. He is the GM of the Atlanta Thunderbirds. Barry McCockiner. Barry McCockiner is the GM of the Atlanta Thunderbirds, and so we talk regularly on a basis because that's how it has to be. So when I started scouting him, I immediately knew that he was going to be high up on my prospect board because I know him well. I work well with him. He's a funny dude. We get along perfect. We get along well. I mean, some days we have disagreements, but for the most part, we get along well. He's a great locker room presence. He's a great GM in our league. So to summarize it, he's a great locker room presence. He's a good person to be around, and he's the person that we were looking high on because we need to. Because Minion Olsen left in free agency, so we needed it or left to,
I was going to say, I didn't know if he signed anywhere.
The continuous cycle of Minion Olsen becoming inactive. So what we did was we drafted Dixie Normus, the linebacker.
Does he have enormous shoes to fill?
Yeah. I don't know. Minion Olsen was all right, but we lost 2 and we gained 2. So.
All right.
Is this Nick?
And with 6 overall.
A-Dub, before you announce it, pointed out that we got a run of 3 consecutive Vipers players getting drafted. See what happens at 6 overall.
Yep.
And can I announce it or not?
Yes, you can.
All right. So the 6th overall pick, the Dragons are gonna select tight end, ace sprout, Justin Tucker at tight end.
Now,
if one CASL GM goes, the other must as well. So we took him, had a very good scouting convo with him. He seems like a guy that just wants to play some football. It doesn't matter where he plays. He's gonna play some football with us, and yeah, he had very good scouting convo. Nice guy to be around. He's active in the CASL. Not much in here, but he has. I think it's 116 ADP. I might be wrong in here. But yeah, so that's why we drafted him here. And yeah.
I'm sorry, Barry. I tried doing all I can because Barry told me that he wanted to play with Justin Tucker. So I did everything I could. I tried to sell my soul, and
Hey, we'll
the
take it.
Dragons wouldn't try. The Dragons wouldn't accept my soul. It's really sad. So I'm sorry, Barry.
I'm not sure
Kind
if
of me.
that's a good trade anyway. I like this pick a lot. I like both of these picks. I think they're great picks for both teams. Although I do have a question for you, Turk. You have a Hall of Fame tight end at Adonis King.
Listen, okay, see, there's gonna be some questionable picks here, and like I said, he'll just play wherever. He's a
Okay.
guy that likes to play football. We don't know where we're gonna put him.
Gotcha.
It's just great
So,
to have him on the roster. And also, this pick is kind of in spite of CJ.
ooh, spicy.
So yeah, just is what it is.
I'm
Gotcha.
gonna win more games this year. But anyway, I digress.
Adonis
point.
King is also really old.
No,
Yeah,
no,
okay,
Adonis
really
King is
weird.
eternal, and I refuse to accept a world where he's not.
He's S4 at 224 TPE.
Oh God, he's dying.
Going to auto retire.
So bad. Oh my god.
He's got one more
He's
season
going
in
to
him.
auto retire.
He's
He's
gonna.
got a Jordals in him.
He's gonna.
Strobel auto retired this past couple
If
days.
he.
I-
Okay, wait. We're in 14, season 4. No, he's got. Jordals actually, I think, lasted longer.
Probably because regression's been.
Regression hasn't been touched
Disagree.
in terms of percentages. But he was
Moving
all.
on, we have the 7th overall pick, and it did all of
I'm very curious about it. Oh, I guess as a Wallabies player, I should announce this one. With the 7th overall, the Wallabies select running back Christopher Nolan, D director.
Yay! So you don't have to run
This is a
space
great
trade
pick.
every game.
Yeah, so this is a good pick. I like this one. The Wallabies War Room basically were like, we know this guy, we love him, get him. That was kind of the gist of how it is. And honestly, when you're drafting, I generally believe drafting the right people is what matters. So this is definitely a right person for a right team. I think it's a great pick.
Is this the end of the Space Raid Wallabies?
No, heck no. We're going to throw him at wide receiver and use him better. You fools! I'm going to perfect the Space Raid.
Famous last words.
Billy Big
So
Hits.
the first 5 picks were defensive. We've seen a couple offensive players now
Yep.
in a row. See if they stick with those positions or not. But I think this is a great pick as well. Great user in other sim leagues, and I think the Wallabies hit it well for 7th overall. This draft class is very reminiscent of the S12 draft class, where there's like some really solid players. It's not very big class, as you'll see here later on. We just don't have that many players like compared to last season, but a lot of quality at the top.
Absolutely. And
Good pick.
just for reference, he was on Nightmares with me. I had him at tight end the entire season. He did great. So we didn't use him at running back. So he's happy to play anywhere.
All right, so it's Space Raid confirmed for the next seasons.
Next eons until we win, which will be soon when we return to our underdog form. With 8 overall, the Aliens select running back Wayland LaPrade. I don't know much about this pick.
Yeah, Waylon was on the Kings. So a little bit quiet, but overall fairly on top of things. Did not actually play on the offensive side of the ball while in Memphis. Was largely on defense. Was a good DB for the Kings alongside Bozy and a couple others. So I think it's a pretty good pick, and the Aliens must have liked him. Like I said, I think he's just a little on the quiet side, but I think it's a great pickup here still.
Absolutely. All right, back to the Frost Giants.
Yes, because we traded. Yes, hi. Because we traded with the Venom for this pick. That S15 first, that we got from the Aliens for Little Debbie.
Yep.
Yeah, we gave that right to the Venom because first round picks, LMAO. So, the Frost Giants, we selected
Sorry.
Go wide receiver, Rylan Moffitt, aka Rue. He's an interesting character when I scouted him. He's enjoying the league. I hope. Uh, he, I think what Nightmares? Did you
Yep,
say?
he absolutely was.
He was a dominant wide receiver on the Nightmares. I don't know if dominant's the right word, but a very good receiver, I should say. Funny thing about Rue is that he actually streams lo-fi on Spotify. So if you need your lo-fi beats to study and chill to, just hit up my wide receiver. Actually, don't. That's tampering.
Well, hitting him up for
I would know
lo-fi
all
beats
about
isn't
tampering.
Oh,
tampering.
when did you know about tampering, CJ?
Oh yeah, I would.
Anyway, moving on
Yeah.
to the Dragons.
I'd just be curious. I thought the Frost Giants had a lot of depth at wide receiver. So
That is
Oh,
true.
fits in.
Yes, that is true. However, I'm not sure if we're gonna call him up immediately or let him spend some time in the dev league because, I know we just signed IO and we had the whole fiasco with Deluxe, but uh, you know, I want to have a. I don't want all my receivers to be terrible at the twilight of the career and shut that window on us for Jerry Riggs. So he's like our he's like our replacement, not replacement, but he's our future at the wide receiver position.
Well, as an unbiased Nightmares GM, I think you should send him down.
Okay, I'll think about it.
2 seasons.
Yeah, just keep him as long as humanly possible down in the Dev League.
I might need
Hey,
him soon. Who
white guy,
knows?
good to see you.
Alright. Back to the Dragons. Feels like the same two teams these first 2 rounds, pretty much.
It's
Yeah,
so
kinda.
great, isn't it?
Sure.
Trading aggressive, y'all.
Here we go. So, with this 10th overall pick, we select the tight end, Damari Rose, KJX Brazzi. So, you go tight end back to back. Again, don't know where we're gonna put these guys. Probably we have a plan. I won't say it, but we have a plan. We took Damari here because I think Damari is one of the first people that I think I could really say that I built a connection with in sim leagues. So seeing him available here was just a pleasure. I've GM'd him before. We're on the same team in CASL. And both of those times, and even still, have been very pleasurable. So you go with familiar faces when in doubt. So that's what this pick is here.
This is also the first Narwhal to be drafted.
First Narwhal, yes. First Narwhal.
Friendly reminder that all players who are in the Season 14 draft class can switch to any position at no penalty until the regular season kicks off.
Yeah, me.
No, it's awesome.
Yep. Alright, Andy Flamingos are up. Were you the first dragon? I thought that was Adonis King. Adonis King Season 4. Maybe not. No, you can't change your name.
Change my name to Condom Man.
The Flamingos select quarterback. And I can actually speak to this one a little bit. Dre Rose, that's right. Hayden Waddix. So this was the quarterback for the Nightmares. I love this pick for a few reasons. One being...
Converted quarterback, right?
Yeah, he converted to quarterback, and I spoke to PCast, and I know he's converting out of quarterback.
I would assume so based on...
Yeah, Jimirical. I said, what the hell? You just had probably the greatest quarterback season not named Mike Ocklock, and you're getting rid of him. So, yeah, no, it's they're not getting rid of him. They're keeping Jimirical under center. They're switching Waddix. He started off as a DB, so he'll probably play DB or somewhere else.
Yeah, I think this is a great pickup. You know, it's difficult to say. I can't believe he fell this far because there's just a lot of good. Again, there's a lot of good depth in this first round, but this is a solid pickup at 11 overall in this class.
Absolutely.
And, I mean, he was a good quarterback in the Dev League, too.
He was.
He won a championship, yes?
No.
Oh.
Don't want Ben Bones is that quarterback you're thinking of.
Oh, Benjamin Bones, who who wants to?
All right.
Are you going to
I
finish
guess I'll
that thought, or just take it away?
I guess I'll take it away here since this seems appropriate, as I am the
Absolutely.
Loins GM. So,
Loins.
so 12th overall, the final pick of the first round, the Vancouver Victorious Lions will select another quarterback, and this will be Ben Bones, user Saintaholic, or the Saintaholic. This is a Memphis Kings quarterback, and very, I guess, created on early in the season, so it wasn't like a trade deadline last season and came on pretty well, asked a lot of questions, and feel pretty good about this pick.
So I have to ask Dust, because I believe it was 2 seasons ago you picked Ian the Balance as your quarterback to replace the eventually outgoing Oxlong. I assume, one, Oxlong is not moving off quarterback this close to the records.
Yep.
And 2, I assume the Ian the Balance era has come and gone.
Never started, I guess. So.
All right.
So yeah, no, this is the eventual successor to Oxlong, and feel pretty good about it so far. Gotta keep the system moving. Lions are gonna have a lot different look over the next few seasons.
Yep.
Yeah. I have a lot of thoughts of the user, but I will not spit them as it is Player Appreciation Day.
Always say positive things unless that person is a GM or head office member and a returning GM at that.
Amen.
So, here's a recap. In case you missed the first round and you're wondering, did I get picked? Was I in the first round? Here you are. Yeah.
Ambulances are wait, which one is this? TOK.
That's an ambulance. Absolutely.
Yes, I was right. Let's go. They're excited for the first round being over. They're thinking the second round's about to explode.
All right, and with that, Turkey, would you be so kind as to take it away?
Oh, well, I have we will for the next 3 picks. So here, the Dragons with the 13th overall pick select quarterback Kaiser Washington. Kaiser Washington. Coming into the draft, I had just seen KW1 pop into some sim leagues that I was in, so I was kind of curious about him as a prospect, and so I hit him up. I had a very good scouting conversation with him. I can't even remember what it was about. We just kind of ended up talking about football for a little bit. And yeah, we have Willie Biehmann, who's Willie Biehmann. So you know he's probably not going to start this season. Probably going to sit in the devs for a season. So second narwhal taken, or I think might be wrong, but second narwhal taken by the Denver Dragons. He has a connection with Ben, in both the dev leagues and in CASL. So that's kind of awesome. Some good things about him.
Cool.
Yeah. So we'll go to the 14th overall pick now. And the Dragons will select DB. Trey Martin, Tricky Trey. So this was another one of those that I didn't really know much about. I just saw his name hop in now and then. I thought he was like kind of active, so I hit him up and he responded almost instantly. I think it was just a little bit after instantly. So had a good scouting convo right there. Started off. It wasn't as good as Kaiser's, but it is what it is. And he also had a lot of TPE for being DB this late, so took him there, and should help as we get 2 DBs here in this draft so far.
That's solid.
Yeah.
And then
15.
And then we'll have thoughts on Dragons after we get to the third pick by the Dragons in a row.
Yeah, 15th overall pick. Dragons select running back Speedy Gonzalez, a Lemrose 7. Or Lemerose. I don't know how to say their name. But
Lemorse?
Lamorse?
Lemorse, thank you. There was a few prospects in this draft where I drew complete blanks to who their names was. I'd never seen them. And this was one of those guys. So had a scouting convo. I'd seen them active in the server, especially in the Twitch chat during Dev League games. And so instantly thought this is a good pick, especially since we don't have Jess returning.
Dust, you're not returning?
Jess is not returning.
Wow. Dust, do you want to speak on that
Yeah.
one?
Yeah, I just didn't want to be on the Dragons anymore.
Heck, Denver.
For those who don't get that joke, when usually I have...
You know.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So yeah, we got a running back here, and excited for the future.
I think the Dragons got 3 solid people there. Tricky Trey is probably the weak link of the bunch, I'd say.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. Tried to have a second round of like a quick questionnaire before we picked him. And he didn't respond, which might be a no-no, but might as well. When in Rome, I spun the wheel.
Absolutely. And I think he's a good one. If you can get him active, he was on the Nightmares. You get him to spend, you've got a great DB there.
Yes. Let's see, who's next?
The Twisters.
Oh,
Dust, do you want this one or should I?
Yeah, I can take this one here. Just a quick comment on Lemorse too. That was one of my. I was surprised Lemorse fell this far.
Same.
To be honest, I thought that he could have been taken in the first round easily. So,
He should have been taken in the first round.
Very, very surprised to see Speedy drop this far. Could be the best pick of Denver's second rounders here.
Absolutely.
So another one, don't we? Oh man, we do.
17 overall. We have the Twisters. I believe their only pick in this draft. I'll double check the recap later, but their first pick of the draft, at least, they are going to select wide receiver Adam Esoto.
And Nemo. Where'd you get Adam?
Oh, Adam. I'm thinking of Enemo Esoto. Centreni. I don't know how you say it. This is their GM, co-GM there. So I guess one of those picks that you have to make in the second rounder. And not exactly sure the Twisters plan to kind of build out, but I know they have Perbo, if I'm not mistaken, TLK.
They do.
So they just called up, so they got another wide receiver. And yeah, I think I hope they got a plan, and maybe Esoto will move positions. Not sure, but that's who they pick in the S14 draft here.
Well, they lost 2 wide receivers this offseason. Don't forget, they lost.
Oh yeah, that's right. They lost Torrent.
They lost Torrent. They lost Weasel.
Yeah, I wonder.
Oh, they lost 3. They lost Tingle as well.
I wonder where Io went. Oh well, I guess we'll find out later. Anyway.
Man, you're really liking the heel life. Anyway, on to pick number 18. The Madagascar Hammerheads are up.
This is their first pick as well, so we've seen a lot of first team picks coming up here.
And absolutely. And I think one of the things I want to just remind everyone is the Hammerheads come into this draft with probably the highest expectations, which is they absolutely killed it that last draft. I don't think they had a single bad pick in the season 13 draft. So I think they're trying to strike while it's hot.
I mean, they can still win this draft,
Absolutely. But it was just wild because I think they had like 1 pick in the first round, didn't have any till the third, and then just cleaned house. Honestly, I'm still amazed by that draft by the Hammerheads. Anyway, with 18 overall, the Hammerheads select linebacker Drew Stowe, my apologies. He was on the Kings as a linebacker, if I'm not mistaken. Dust?
Yeah. Drew Stowe was a great linebacker for the Kings, and this is an excellent pickup for the Hammerheads. I actually had this player very highly rated on my board, and would have pulled the trigger if he had fallen to me. in a heartbeat. So good pick here by the Hammerheads. They've round out their defense. We're kind of seeing a trend where teams are building out their defense, and I think this is a great pick from. Going to play alongside Tom Krieg there and the rest of their squad.
Absolutely. All right. And with that, back to the Dragons.
Yeah.
Who should be 19, not 15. Typos. Oh well.
SMHT, okay. Actually, it's 18, I think, but it is what it is.
It's 19.
It's 19. Hammerhead just picked 18.
Oh, nice. Anyways. With the 19th overall pick, the Dragons select quarterback Cam Jones, or Bagway 62. This is a guy, we're definitely gonna have him move. I think it's to the defensive side of the ball. Crane told me about it, and I'll be real, I forgot. But this is another name that I've seen pop in and out of sim leagues. Kind of active, kind of not. But he's been very vocal in CASL. So I was like, you know what, might as well. And so boom, we got him. Gonna have him move to the opposite side of the ball, build up that side, make the defense a little bit stronger, and make our offense very more potent and very more younger, along with our defense, because we have so many picks this year. But yeah.
He's actually been super active for the Vipers as well. It's a great pick.
Yeah.
I love this one at 19. I'm surprised he was picked this late, but yeah, no.
Yeah. I don't know.
Anyway, with that in mind, let's go to...
Oh, I don't get this. Oh, I'm gonna not talk for a little bit here, aren't
20. The New Zealand Wallabies select offensive line Logan Clark Axtron. So I can speak to this pick unless someone else would like to.
Go ahead.
All right.
Sure.
So Dust, keep me honest here, but I believe Logan Clark is the OL for the Narwhals.
That is correct.
Right. So he was similar vein to AW from earlier. He was a nightmare for a collective total of 2 minutes.
Yeah, you did that trade because, yep, because you didn't know if Ferguson Pork was going to stay down or not. Yep.
Right. And so once we figured out Ferguson Pork was going to stay down, I decided it made more sense to put him on the Narwhals where he could actually shine. So I gave him the Toasty for, I think, their next pick and Friendship. It was a great pick.
Yeah, I did not get a lot of feedback from Axtron personally, but I think this is a great pick, and surprisingly the first offensive lineman taken. I thought there were a couple teams that needed offensive linemen. So I was surprised to see one drop this far.
So the Wallabies do need one, as I believe, I don't know where Tom Hanks is these days. Still on the Isle of Man, but I don't know, I know he's dealing with some stuff, so.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think it's trying to just solidify OL long term. Also, because regression is finally catching up to Slim did nothing wrong.
Yeah. Yep.
And with that, we go to 21.
No, I think this is actually 20. I think the numbering got off a little bit, so this is truly 20.
Okay, and round 2.
It's 20 in the sheet.
It's 20? Okay, that's 20.
Yep, we're good.
Then what was the...
Doesn't
I
matter.
thought Dragons was 18. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
We skipped a number with the twisters.
Somewhere, somehow, I screwed this thing up.
So 20 overall, Lions back on the board. They're going to select a kicker, and this is going to be Cody What a Name, user Max.
Now,
What a
Dust, I have
name
a question.
indeed.
Sorry, I had a question about this pick.
Yeah,
You have Zuko Ito, correct, right?
that's correct.
Is Zuko Ito anywhere near regression or anything, or is he inactive or?
He is not inactive, and he is in regression.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say he was in the Dev League back when. God, what was that one? The last time, funnily enough, the Kings and Narwhals.
Kings beat the Narwhals.
Yeah.
He was the kicker for the Kings. Yeah.
So to give you a sense of time, that's at least 4. Yeah. Is it only like 4 seasons? So is What a Name just
no.
gonna sit down in the dev for a season or 2?
We'll see.
Fair enough. I love this user. I should specify Max is one of my good friends. I do get pizza with him on a semi-regular basis. I think I owe him a pizza. Last time we met up, I actually got him a book, which is A Gentleman in Moscow. If you've not read it, do recommend. Really, really well done. It's a quick read, but it's a good one. And yeah, he's a great guy. I love this guy. He also, funnily enough, here's your fun Max fact of the day. He is the person who has come up with the most team brands of any individual in this league.
Yep. It's I think it was a pretty straightforward pick. It's largely a user pick.
Absolutely, and it's a great one. Does anyone want to guess which 2 brands Max came up with?
The
brand
Lions.
Nope.
Twisters?
Yep. And he's
Frost
got.
Giants.
Nope.
Darn.
Is it a current one or is it like the Coyotes?
It's a current one.
Okay.
It's a current one in
Nightmare.
use. No.
Is it a major or minor league team?
Major.
Dragons.
Nope.
Not the Aliens. Is
It is the Aliens.
All right. Yep.
Came up with the Aliens in their first season. He was one of the original GMs.
Ooh.
There's your fun history of the day. Anyway, with that,
Great test.
we're going back to the Hammerheads.
And we're finally back in the second round. Phew.
Toasty missed trivia and he knew it. Yeah. Hi, Toast. The Hammerheads select Bill Cherry.
I thought that had been UTLK the whole time.
No.
Toasty's been ignoring me because I guess he hates me. So.
No.
So
He's just been super busy.
So this is an interesting draft pick.
Sure is.
I like this pick.
Because do you want me to explain the history behind this pick, or?
No, I actually don't.
No.
Okay.
I think this is for the pick where it's at. I think this could be a really good one, especially for an org like the Hammerheads.
Absolutely. And I think it's good because it doesn't put any pressure on Cherry. I don't think they're going to move on from Old Man Picard quite yet.
Well, they have Koreshi too.
Is Koreshi updating and active?
I'm not certain what his status is.
If he is, you've got a great pick here. I mean, you've got a great pick here regardless. I think it's actually a really good pick for what it is. He is updating.
So, but they have a lot of flexibility. I mean, they could see if he wants to play defense. They could really do a lot with this pick because user's been around sim leagues enough for sure.
Absolutely. Koreshi is active. That's excellent. God, the Hammerheads are so good. So much fun to watch them. All right. No, I love this pick. I think it's great.
Wait, that's not. Is that a hammerhead, Joel? I don't believe it is. Okay.
Technically, it's a shark jaw.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought.
Anyway, Frost Giants.
Alrighty. So with the 22nd pick, we selected defensive back. Baby Hawk.
Baby.
The law.
What a pick. Big fan of this pick. I don't even know the guy, but I'm a big fan of this pick.
He was on Nightmares. I'm wary of this pick, but I'd love to hear your logic behind it.
Okay. I look at it solely from a okay. I will be honest. I tried talking to him, I tried scouting him, didn't respond. That should have been a red flag, but here's the thing. I'm the king of not looking at red flags. Because clearly it works well for me. So what I did okay. So Lil Law is a defensive back of the Nightmares. You know, we need, because we were torched last season in our secondary. You know, we've moved Yam Lewis over to DB. We signed Udo Cloudera. So it's nice to have that third option. We re-signed Tog, but I'm not 100% sure what the plan is going forward with Tog. So, in the event something happens with Tog, we will have Lil Law here as a backup in the minors.
Assuming you can get him to sign a contract, because if he didn't respond, I'm wary of that. He also didn't respond to us in the Nightmares, which is why I said I'm very curious about your mindset. I think if you can get him active, though, this is a phenomenal pick.
Yes. Also, I like hawks. So.
That's a good reason. Red tail, red shoulder, just none too picky.
Peregrine. Wait, that's a falcon.
Falcons are a type of hawk.
Okay, phew. Alrighty.
All right.
Is this my pick again? No, it's not.
Nope. Back to the Hammerheads,
Next one. Second.
who select offensive line Mark Steele, who Dust, if I'm not mistaken, he played on the Kings.
Did play on the Kings. Was not active on being drafted by the Kings.
Okay.
So I'm not sure about this pick. If I'm being honest, it's one of a few questionable ones in the second round, in my opinion. But his offensive lineman does have some TPE filled out initially from the first wave of spending, but has not communicated to me at least, or been in the Kings locker room. I don't know if I have the username wrong or what the deal is, but yeah.
That white guy says they heard back from him, so that's a freaking steal.
All right.
They got an active OL after losing, honestly, the best OL in the league last season.
Yeah, I did not see him in the main Discord there, so let me know so we can get the roles right, or he's just
Hiding
to
away.
be only in the portal. I don't know. It doesn't matter really.
Yeah. All right. With 24 overall, Turkey, take it away.
So, with the 24th overall pick, Dragons are going to select wide receiver Jordan Dribble. Hit him JJ, the username. He was the only active that we got he was the only person that we got a response from. And again, almost instantly was the response from him. He said he checked the server every day, just didn't chat, which, who knows. But builds up some wide receivers, some offense, because you never can have it. In my mind, I think the best defense is a better offense in my mind. So listen, man, you just gotta go with the flow here. So, building up that offense, might have him move, might have some other people move. You never know. Can't tell with this bunch of group. But yeah, that's we viewed it as a good way to cap off our draft class. And we feel very confident in these guys. We feel very confident in this group of guys that we drafted here in season 14.
Cool. And I actually think this is a great pick. Like, don't get me wrong. As much grief as I give you, I love this pick. I can gush about this guy a lot. I actually picked him up from the PSL, which is his origin. And he's been... Don't worry about that. But he's on team with me there, which I did just for a friend and actually Superwoman who co-founded this league with me. So I joined there. He's on my team there. He's a good user. He doesn't talk super much, as he said, but he's active. I've seen him in the Discord. Just check in on his player, see the stats, just make sure his player is actually performing. So I definitely love it. And one of the things I will say, as I covered for Dust late in the season after he got picked up, he was an absolute asset for the Vipers. Freaking killed it there. Just honestly got a ton of late game catches.
Yeah, I think this is a great pick. I think Denver lost a couple offensive threats, so this could definitely replenish that. This is one of the users by this point in the draft that I was having conversations with. So,
Yep.
I think this is a no-brainer.
So let me ask you a question, Dust. Which do you think the Vipers have lost more of, draft assets in this draft or overtime games?
Yeah, well, I think they'll get a lot of send-downs. See, the reality is the Vipers had no send-downs.
Oh, I know.
So that's why we're seeing so many Vipers in this draft. It's kind of cycled around now, where the Vipers had to build up, and I don't think the record was a very good indication of
not at all.
how they played.
They played really well. I thought it was just funny because they had I think they were 0-3 in overtime, which is just absurd. And two of them were on the same short pass to running back take it to the house.
Tradition.
That's just wild. Anyway, here was your recap of your second round. I will say I find it amazing that Denver bookended this round, but also I think Denver really did have a good draft in these first 2 rounds. I think they've had a bunch of picks.
The key is going to be stringing things together. So they had a bunch of picks last draft, right?
Yep.
And now they have a bunch of picks this draft. Can they build a core and keep a core?
Absolutely.
That's the challenge of it all. Easy to get a lot of picks. Harder to keep the picks around.
Yep. So it's on Turkey and Crane now to keep the locker room active. And Adam, I guess.
Yeah, and Adam, who stinks, and he stinks. But we talked about that, and it is we are fully aware that it is on us, along with the sort of on the player's side. But it is what it is. You move on, you live, you win games.
Yep.
Or you win 1 game if you're the Dragons last season.
All right, speaking of winning games, the Knights are up for the first time tonight. They traded out a lot of picks, and here they go. So the Knights are gonna select wide receiver Jaylen Jones, J&J. I'm wary about this pick. I don't love it per se. Did he play for the? He played for the Narwhals or Kings?
No, the Knights or the Kings.
Yeah, I was gonna say he plays for Knights
Kings
now.
The Knights, so going K to K. He was let go of GMing by Dave.
Yep.
And he's still, I think, in the servers. I've not been able to get a hold of him though, so not really sure. Could pay off. It is kind of getting to be that point in the draft. Hate to say it, but I think. I'm not quite sure because the Knights already have some good offensive weapons. So I think it could work out. Maybe there's a position swap. Maybe they were able to get a hold of him. Don't know the full story.
Absolutely. All right, with the Rush, who I think are changing logos, but I don't have the new logo from them yet. So once I get,
I think he posted it.
He posted it. I don't have the transparent background. I need that. The Rush select linebacker Connor Dyson. So I actually spoke with Slump Dog, the new GM for the Rush, and credit to him, he had less than 24 hours to get everything set up for the draft. So he's basically playing with house money this draft, essentially. I can't criticize this pick. I can't find him in the server. I will be trying to reach out to him and finding him after this stream, as well as trying to find his other pick, because I know there are 2 Rush picks, and getting them both into the server, as he is got to be up for work early in the morning. Did you go through your guy, Toasty? We did, because I believe the Silver Eagles picked 3rd overall.
They did.
Yep.
So, yes. You can invite them to your locker room. So, yeah.
I think maybe a good start. AW might have a connection to Decon because he was a Vipers linebacker, but I could be wrong.
Yep, and I believe Toasty, he did go through your guy for the...
Yeah, he did. Yeah, Slump Dog Rush GM did. Yes.
Yep. And so back-to-back Rush picks. He might be on the SBA Discord. Heck yeah, AW, if you can, if I give you the link to the Rush locker room, could you reach out to him for me, please? I want to try and help as best I can. Alright, the Rush select. Defensive back. Daniel Sturgeon, who I believe played on the Knights.
Kings, but yeah.
The Knights. I always do that.
Yeah, I know.
They're both medieval things that start with K.
Danny was actually the first overall pick in the Dev League draft. I really liked him. Activity kind of waned a little bit as the season went on, and he and I didn't end up chatting much shortly after getting drafted, or I didn't get a lot of feedback from him. I think this could be a really, really great pick actually, because he's still around and contactable. So I think this could work out for the Rush if the environment's right, and IRL things happen. We totally understand that. So if that's the case and he just comes back and hits the ground running, this will be a great pickup for Toronto because they, I mean, big barriers when they're not in the server. Then we got to go through some jumping or hoops and do some extra, whatever else to try to get in contact with people. So this is pretty good, I think, for the rush at this point. I maybe would have taken one other person ahead of this, but about as good as they can do.
Absolutely. And fun fact, when I'm usually telling GMs, here's how you scout, I actually use my conversation with him when scouting for the Nightmares as my example conversation. Here's your fun fact of the day. But I agree with you entirely, Dust. I think it's a great pick if he can come back and be active. And now we're on to the Venom.
You got to take you got to take the draft relative to its own picks or own class, right? You can't just always compare 27 overall in this draft.
No, because I know the draft here is waning. I think we have 3 more picks after this one. Which is this one I want to gush about. I want to gush about this pick. Can I gush?
Yep.
Excellent.
Yep, please do.
With 28 overall, the Venom select kicker, Kiki Nutsenkirken. First and foremost, A+ name. What a name. Plays for the Nightmares. Isn't the one to initiate conversation, but Phonexia has been absolutely an active member of the locker room. They've been phenomenal. They've been talking when they're prompted. They always ask how their player's doing. They always get hyped when their player makes a field goal. They want to come in, they want to kick the ball deep, which is perfect for the Venom because, real quick, we all know this. What was the Venom's biggest weakness last season and the season before? Kicking. Having a kicker here is going to be huge for them, and this is a great kicker. Oh my god, the Venom got a steal.
Yeah. This was kind of what I'm very surprised because the only thing I'd say is I don't know if Phonexia, I don't know how to pronounce the user, sorry, but wanted to switch off of kicker. That might have hurt the value, but obviously the Venom could use a kicker, and the pick makes sense here. Venom trying to make that push with some of their older players and some free agents, and now maybe they have the missing ingredient.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
All right, and then back to the Knights. With the 29th overall, the Hollywood Knights select running back Joseph Brady, or as we all know him, Exo Cortal.
Exo Cortal.
So if they can keep Exo involved, I know Exo would want to be in the war room. I know Exo is also trying to learn how to be a GM from AW. Don't know how that's going. I'm not going to speak to that one. But definitely an active person. Has wanted to be involved in this league always, every time, gives 110%. I think this is a phenomenal pick for a Knights roster that could just use someone who talks a lot.
Yeah, and I was, as we were going through this draft slides and everything, obviously we used the skeleton of the previous draft, and the Knights had some good pickups there with Hawaii Capano, I believe, made the Pro Bowl.
Yes, Hawaii Capano did.
Yeah, and I really like Ayomidi Ayodele, and they got Caden Coleman. They're now GM in the draft, so they're getting
also a Pro
some
Bowler.
people. Yeah, and none of those, they didn't have a first or second round in last year's draft either, but they're still trying to get some sleepers here so they can reaccumulate their assets and kind of establish, like you said, that get some bodies in and kind of establish their MO or their culture.
Yep.
So I think this could work out really, really well for the Knights, and maybe Exo can be an asset to the team as well as being a player to the team.
Absolutely. And one other thing to keep in mind is the Knights have so many holes on their roster that literally anyone they pick is going to fit into somewhere, which is good. And then, with the 30th overall pick, and I believe the last pick of the draft, the Hollywood Knights select defensive back Lyle Muskogee, Wellerson, ERT. So I want to speak to this one a little bit, because they were like, Everyone skipped, but this guy we know is active and we can get him. And I'm like, if you can get him, more power to you. If they get him, they got a steal at 30 overall. And I've seen him in other leagues. I'm pretty sure he's like super active in goals. Is he in? I don't know what other leagues he's in, but I'm pretty sure he's active.
The name is familiar, and I'm all for teams trying to get players that maybe flew under other teams' radars. So if they can bring him into the league, that just helps their team. It helps the league out. So I'm all for it. This is Mr. Irrelevant, and I hope it pays off good dividends for the Knights.
Absolutely. So yes, now we will review the draft board for everyone, just real fast.
Yeah. Look at that draft board. Absolutely beautiful.
Okay, that's what it was that was throwing me. Seriously, what is with Denver and just throwing off the first round every single time in alignment?
Yeah, they did that with Will Frith, the Langwald, son of Egret the Collier. So the trend continues. I think he was the 4th overall pick.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
That sounds about right.
So yeah, a lot of Denver picks here, and like I said earlier, just be a matter of if they can keep their kind of last couple draft classes all intact and sticking around.
Absolutely.
That's the goal, as always.
Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. It has been an absolute pleasure doing this draft. Yeah, we started.
I think we went pretty much a full hour.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
Not too bad for 30 picks.
Yeah.
All right. And thank you very much for the follow, Barry. Much appreciated. And we will see you guys. When is our preseason kickoff, Dust?
We are gonna kick off preseason. Not too long. I think it's next Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah, Monday or Tuesday. I believe it's Monday. Let's take a look.
30th. So
30th.
that is
5 days from now.
Memorial Day. So
heck yeah, drunk preseason.
Yeah, let's do it. And then shortly after we'll have Dev League draft, and then I'll do a Dev League game, and just to get all the new kids worked in. And we're just under 2 weeks away from the regular season. A week and a half away from starting off the regular season. So excited about this season. It's gonna be. I think all the teams are gonna be much more competitive across the board. So I think it'll be a very fun season.
Absolutely. So, all right. Well, thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you. Let's see. Let's actually. We're gonna do a raid into one of our partner leagues, as always, because I just like doing that. Let's see if they're still going. They are still going. So we're going to do a raid. Okay, some channel points. Let's see what's going on. Cool. And then let me just end the stream.